Pie in the Sky Media. This series contains adult language and descriptions of graphic violence throughout. Listener discretion is advised.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Hello, welcome back, Criminal Mischief Nation, to another late episode of Criminal Mischief with Karen and Brandon, the bonus version. I was distracted last night. We have a house guest that took up residence in my office, and I felt like a man without a country last night. But anyway, here we are today. Sorry for the lateness of the show, but Carolyn, thank you for your grace in that matter. And how are you?
I am good. I'm fighting off some crud that my boys gave me, but I've been saunaing.
Oh, good. I'm gonna go sauna after this.
Okay, well, yeah,
I love a sauna.
Hopefully that'll help because we're doing the canine search on Saturday.
Wow.
And I can't get like all these people sick. Like, hi,
don't
I'm
even
Carolyn.
tell them. It's fine. Just trust they have healthy immune systems. And
Okay,
be like, I'm fine. We can talk
I'm
about
not like that. I'm not like you. Oh, excuse me. I've got seasonal allergies.
it. Everybody gets sick. Who gives a shit? Fuck.
Brandon,
I'm kidding.
I'm doing everything I can to you asked me how I was doing, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I am my oldest, she's 15. She's going to Miami for spring break without us. She's going with her cousin. We have family there.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
The next door neighbor cousin?
Yeah.
Oh, how did they? I am so impressed with your firstborn. Oh my gosh, how did she pull that off? Getting Papa to sign off. Wait, you got bruises on your knuckles.
Oh
like,
yeah, I was doing some close quarters woodworking, and I was trying to get a rasp in there, and then a plane in there, and then a chisel, and I just kept to get the joint just right. I had to sacrifice my knuckles.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing. Remember the oven story? A little bit too screwed, right?
Oh,
Okay.
shh.
I
Yeah.
think you haven't learned a lot over the last
No,
however
but this
many.
came out great when you see this. It was this kind of interior kind of mortise and tenon joint that needed to be massaged. It came out great. Well worth the sacrifice of some
Okay.
skinned
Anyway, back
knuckles.
to your firstborn. Congratulations to her that she has been able to maneuver
Ugh.
one over on her dad. Oh,
You know what the
Lord.
worst part of it? Here's the worst part of it.
What?
So we were in Italy over the summer, and we were in this little beach town called Sorrento. There's nothing little about it. It's a beautiful tourist spot.
Mm,
And I had one day where I told my family, I'm like, you know what? I'm out. Pretend I'm not here. I've
mhm,
got to just stop. We've been here for weeks. I'm staying in the room all day, all
mhm.
day.
Yeah.
I'm going to
I,
walk to the corner and get a pizza and eat all of it in peace. You guys go somewhere without me. Just go. So
yeah.
my wife and my daughters, they went to this like popular, like local grotto swim hole spot, whatever. And my oldest came back all lit up because she met some Italian boy. She was 15. She met the 17-year-old Italian kid. I may have told you
Mm.
this story.
No, you haven't.
Italian kid he goes to school in the United States. He speaks like 11 languages, chiseled, nightmare, fucking nightmare for the dad of a teenage girl. Okay. His name, and she goes, I said, oh, really? What's his name?
I can picture you just dropping your pizza.
It was the worst. It was supposed to be a vacation from my vacation, and it gave me an agita the rest of the time I was there. Kid's name. What's his name? Simone. I'm like, no, it's not. His name's Simon. Don't give me this shit that it's Simone, right? When he's in school in the US, they call him Simon. But when he's in Italy trying to impress girls, it's Simone. Bunch of bullshit. But guess where Simone goes to school?
LA.
Miami.
Oh.
Yeah, even worse. If he was in LA, I could do something. I could throw up a roadblock. I could not let her go. But now I hear that she's arranged, like, she's gonna go out to dinner with Simone one night in South Beach.
Mm. You're gonna find out soon that he has a tree.
Here's the good thing. Here's the good thing. Uh, the family that we have there, they're college age boys. They go to
Mm,
University of Miami, and they're really good kids, and they're super
mm,
protective of the need of their cousins. So
mm.
um, that's what I hope.
I'm gonna just say like, okay.
And there's Ubers,
Hmm.
there's Uber Teen, and then you could pay a little extra for female only Uber drivers driving your daughters around. So we're doing all that. We're taking all the precautions, but
Hmm.
look, I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy.
I can't even, I'm kind of like, this truly is you evolving, I think.
I'm not evolving. I'm just not fighting as much
Okay, wait a second. Why do you want to not allow yourself to evolve?
because I'm stoic. I'm an oak. All right. I'm an oak standing against
No,
the
you're
storm.
not. No, you're
I
not.
am. I am.
Okay,
And
well,
you know what I
anyway,
wish? You know what I want to do? I want
what?
to go to the doctors that I produce a show for and just say anesthetize me for a week. All right.
Wait,
Wake me up.
that's the eternal sunshine. What was that movie
Yeah,
that?
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I'm like, just
Yeah.
anesthetize me, wake and bring me out of it a week from now when
Mm.
my daughter's back safely from Miami. Like that's it. That's it. That's what I
You
want
know,
to
it's
happen.
funny because when my son goes out, sometimes I do that where I'm like, it like weirded me out the other night because I just had this weird, and he's such a good kid. Like he
Yeah.
does, he truly is. And I was like, okay, have fun tonight, Patrick. Be safe. And he's like, okay, I love you, mom, like he always does. But there was something in the back of my head that I just felt this like uneasy feeling for some reason. I don't really know why. And then I just kind of was like, Carolyn, just the same thing like you, anesthetize myself so I can just not think about it because you got to let him out. You got to let them do their thing. And then all of a sudden I
Yeah.
heard my husband as he's leaving, he's like, okay, Patrick, have fun. Be safe, son. And I was like, usually like the two of us, like me saying it and then him saying it was like the double whammy of like, wait a second, is there, something that I'm missing here? But I just had to let it, like you said, you got to let it go, you know?
See, but Frankie's got a nose for trouble. So, you know, and that's
Okay, listen, you know what? You're doing good. You're doing good.
she's boy crazy. Her and her cousin. Holy shit.
You know what? You know what? This is funny, Brandon, because the last time we were talking, you were talking about, I was thinking a lot about this because it bugged me that I couldn't remember watching a movie with my teenage girlfriends and
Mhm.
like, because I had a crew.
Yeah.
And it dawned on me that the reason why is that all of these movies are for boys. Girls have to kind of pick up on,
Yeah.
the protagonists
Sure.
are not girls. And if they are, they're like boy crazy.
Or
And
the
they're like,
ingenue or whatever, or the eye candy. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And so it's like, this is something I had talked about with my sons about like, because one of my sons did not want to watch a movie that had the girl as the protagonist. And I was like, come on,
Huh.
you've got your sisters, you've got your mom. Like, we deserve to see ourselves, be the heroes,
Yeah.
okay, of our own stories, at least, if not the world, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, your daughter is the hero of her own story, and she's making her way downtown.
Yeah. I
And,
wanted to
you
watch
know,
Point of No Return. That's what I wanted to watch. The Bridget Fonda movie where she's the assassin.
it sounds like she is. It sounds like
No, she's
if she's your daughter, I'm sure you've taught her how to take care of herself.
yeah, she's
But again, Simone might have a
oh,
treehouse, and if and
Simone. It's
and
such
if
a
if that's the case, she might be in some trouble. I'm trying to pivot to our episode here.
gosh. All right. Well, hey, growing up, I guess, right? It's part of life. All right. Well,
Yep.
anyway. All right.
Hmm.
So this guy, it's hard not to like him. That's what I'm figuring out
I
his
know.
appeal, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yes, criminal. Got it. Put that aside. That's not in dispute. He was breaking the law and deserved to be punished for it.
Mm,
But
mm,
spending as much time as I did in the service industry, I know
mm.
exactly who this guy is.
I know.
I know
Me
exactly who he is.
too.
You
I
know,
know.
there are a handful of people where I could be having the worst night at work and I see this one person come in, I'm like, I'm cool. Not
Yeah.
only is this guy awesome, I'm going to have
Mhm.
money. He's going to be nice. He's going to make my night better because he's rich and he's doesn't give a shit and he's generous. He
Mhm.
could have the worst service ever and still tip and say, "Ah, don't worry about it. What do I care? It's one meal. Fuck it. Of course I'll be back. Don't worry about
Mhm.
it." I tell you when
Mhm.
we crashed Seth MacFarlane's brand new Tesla, did I tell you this story?
My God, no.
Brand new car. Brand new car. Gives it to us. He was regular at the hotel. He was in all the time. This valet, it was like his first or second night. I shouldn't have let him get in the car, but I did because we were busy. And he comes up and he just accordioned the hood, right? And just ruined this car.
But
I
how?
mean,
What did he run into?
oh shit. Behind a pickup truck, we were tandeming spots and just went like nose under the back of this raised pickup truck. It was
Was it too much power? Was
he
it a
just
stick
wasn't
shift?
yeah, he wasn't ready for the acceleration from all four because Tesla each wheel has its own motor and so boom there's no hesitation at all. Normally on it with a gas powered car there's a half a second or so before it kicks in. It's instant on a Tesla and he just it jumped on him and bang. And
Oh
this
my
kid
God.
felt terrible and I felt it and I'm all nervous. McFarlane is so cool. He's in there all the time. And and he comes out, and I'm like, "Hey, I got to be honest with you. I'm sorry we crashed your car. It's all fault. It's our fault." And he takes his
Well,
phone out,
whose fault is it? Yeah.
and he takes his phone out like right away. And I don't know what he's doing, but what he was doing was ordering an Uber to go home without any hassle at all, right? And he said, he goes, who was the guy that did it?" And my thing was, if it was my shift, it was my responsibility. I said, just pretend it was me. I'm not putting any of my guys in harm's way. Like it was me. I did it. He goes, no, 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 you don't understand. I'm afraid that he's been worried the whole time I've been in there. And I
Mm.
just want to tell him it's not, it's just a fucking car. I could give a shit. My ride is already here on the way home. I'll have someone come pick it up tomorrow. I don't even want you guys to fix it. Yeah, it's not even and I don't even know to this day how much he tipped this kid, but it was hundreds and hundreds of dollars just to let him know. He said, don't ever worry about little shit like this. If someone gets in your face about a fucking car, that's on them. It's not on you. It means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. I love you guys. You guys are great. I love the restaurant. I love the hotel. Don't give it another thought.
What a great story.
It was
It's funny about
amazing.
stories like that
It was
is
fucking amazing.
whenever I'm tempted to take the mask off for whatever reason, like whatever reason that could be. I always think of the Adam Sandler story. I don't know if you've heard this story where he went into a restaurant. I think it was like a Denny's or something. And he basically they didn't recognize him, they being
Yeah.
the front desk, and they're like, you were really busy, you're gonna have to wait. And he just was like, okay, and he ended up just waiting and was like super cool the whole entire time. Didn't do anything like, do you know who I
Know
am?
who I am? Right. Well, that's it. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, and I just feel like no matter how high or low you are, remembering kind of like it's so important just to be a
Yeah.
regular person, like
It's
not
interesting you say
entitled.
that because that kind of comes full circle with the Seth MacFarlane story. Because he's a humble kid from Boston who's massively talented in terms of animation and comedy writing and singing and dancing. Like he's this immensely talented person. But also just, a middle class kid from Boston without any pretension at all. And his show hit, Family Guy hit in like 99, 2000. It was canceled for a season, then it came back and and he was a big shot. He was a big shot with a show on the air and one morning he was flying from Boston back to LA and he gets to the airport and his assistant had given him the wrong departure time and he was really really late and he realized that as soon as he saw the big board at Logan Airport he goes, oh shit, my flight is boarding. So he runs, he's running. He gets there just as they're closing the door, right? And FAA regs are when the door's shut it doesn't reopen. Sorry, you can't get on the plane. And he said the only time in his entire life did he say the do you know who I am line. He goes, You know who I am? I'm Seth MacFarlane, the show Family Guy. I got to get on that plane. I've got meetings in LA today that could mean my career. And they're like, we don't care who you are. You're not getting on the plane. And that was the plane that fucking crashed into the World Trade Center on 9/11, right?
No
He was sitting in Logan Airport watching it on
way.
CNN when his fucking plane hit the building. Yeah,
No way. Is that
that's
true?
true. I asked because I'd heard that story, and I asked him that night with the whole car thing, and he goes, oh yeah, that's exactly how it fucking happened. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I
whoa.
know. I know. I know, right? He was like gonna fire the assistant, and now the assistant like runs his company because she saved his life, like all that shit. Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I
That's
know.
a
Yeah.
crazy.
So you'll never hear him say, "Do you know who I am?" Because that puts him right back in that
Oh
spot.
my God. Well,
Right?
and plus it sounds like he doesn't want to be that way anyway,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I would imagine. I would imagine that. But if what if that person had been like, "All right, you know what? I do know who you are, and I love your show. All right, go ahead, get on. Go ahead. I'll open the door for you."
I don't even want to think about it. It makes me sick,
Isn't that crazy?
because yeah, because that's really, I mean, your brother had something similar like that
Yeah, yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. He was a New York Yankee, saved my brother's life. Yeah, he was supposed to be on the United 93, the one that went down in Pennsylvania. But the Yankee game got rained out. It was a Tuesday night, and he goes, though I'll go to the game on Thursday. So he
Does
decided
he
to stay.
talk about that very much, or is that like not something that he
He
thinks
did for
about?
a while, my brother is a wicked, strong, emotionally centered, you know, guy. So it's not like he was prone to any like survivor guilt or anything like that. It was more of like an oddity, like a really interesting coincidence where, because there were specific reasons he decided to stay because Roger Clemens was pitching, and that was going to be a league record 20th win in a row. Otherwise, he might not have given a shit about going to the game, but he wanted to witness history. So there's that reason why he decided to go and then to stay because Clemens was going to pitch again on Thursday instead. So he went back through the season and how close did Clemens ever get to losing? So it wasn't going to be 20 in a row and he wouldn't have given a shit
Mhm.
like that kind of stuff. Or it happened to rain that night, the night before. Come on, it wasn't really the rainy season. So there was a bunch of or running into Punky Ackerson in the supermarket. What if he hadn't gone shopping with my mom just for the hell of it and not run into his friend who said, "Hey, Blue, I got a ticket." There were so many different ways it could have gone.
It's funny because I've talked about this before because I usually see it on the other side of that because of what happened to my husband's brother, where
Mm.
he and his brothers relived all the different things they could have done that would have saved him.
Ugh.
And so
Oh
it's
my
kind of
gosh,
like
that's dangerous. It's
for
crazy.
every story where the person survives, there's
Yeah.
always the story of the person if they wouldn't have been there.
Right.
You
There's
know, so
great,
it's
there's a great like sequence in I think kind of a mediocre film in Curious Case of Benjamin Button, like kind of right in the middle, where they tell you how Kate Blanchett's character wound up not being the prima ballerina, right? And you don't know where it's going. And like if she had done this instead of this, and then this and this and this and this, and the red light was here, and she stopped to get the door here, and she stopped to pet a dog here, and then bang, gets hit by a taxi cab and
mm,
fucks up her knee for life.
mm,
And you're like, oh,
mhm,
that's where it was going. Oh shit. So it
mhm.
was those those little moments, turn
I
out to be.
have issues with movies like that deal with, I never saw that movie for that reason because I could just sense that there was going to be a lot of regret. And I don't
Mm.
like to watch or see or be around people who live with always talking about regrets or stuck
Yeah,
in the
it's tough.
past. Or, like there's the Bruce Springsteen song where he talks about glory days, right? Where it's like,
Wow.
I can't bear to listen to that song because it's like I just can't handle that kind of mindset of like
See, but you have to understand Bruce. That
no,
was also on the Born in the
it's
USA
nothing,
record.
it's
That was on
nothing
the.
against Bruce.
No, no,
And
no, no, no,
Bruce
no, no.
is
Listen, you're gonna love it because that was also on the Born in the USA record, where the biggest song of his ever is the most misunderstood jingoistic anthem ever. When it's an anti-war song, it's a protest song, Born in the
mm,
USA.
yeah.
And Glory Days wasn't about glorifying that. It was like, don't be one of those fucking guys that sits around in a bar talking about what a great baseball player you were.
like I said, let me
Yeah.
start this off again saying it's not Bruce Springsteen. I
Gotcha.
get what he's saying,
Yeah.
but the people that do, and it's like, you know what that is. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's really hard to,
Regret.
the regret of like, I I just have a hard time with it. So I
Yeah.
don't like to
How are
watch
you
stuff.
with nostalgia in general?
I am, well, like for example, I'm bringing it back to Hollywood. I was really enjoying this nostalgia. I was
Hmm.
enjoying going back and thinking about waiting tables and thinking about, you know, my younger self and remembering because we've kind of forget ourselves, I think, a little bit because,
Yeah.
being a mom and doing that for so long and kind of reminding ourselves of and like, hey, I love who I am now because the wisdom that we get with age, the
Yep.
experience, the all that stuff. And but then there's also like, yeah, I'm remembering what the hustle and in a different way and stuff like that. So nostalgia, and I love like watching 70s like movies that were made in the 70s. Like for example, there was one with Paul Giamatti that recently was like a holiday one where they just got it just right, where it was him and this college kid and they were going there was a lot of
Oh
there was
yeah.
nostalgia. I can't remember what it's called, but
At the
it was
private
just
school.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But it was and he was so full of regret, but the way that it was done was completely different because then what happened with that was that he ended up going and trying to write his book. And so he
Yeah.
moved on. It's people who stay stuck.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
the issue that I have. But like as far as nostalgia, like oh my gosh, I love thinking about things that, you know, the first Nikes that I ever got. Like I
Yep.
love thinking about that kind of stuff. What about you?
Yeah, nostalgia. I like it because it keeps me connected to people that I really want to stay connected to, like old friends and
Yeah.
extended family that we shared a lot. I shared a lot of time with growing up. When I'm not a get off my lawn type of guy yet, but it was a different way of growing up where you were forced into interpersonal close relationships because of a glaring lack of technology.
Mm-hmm.
Like no
Mm-hmm.
one was looking down. Everyone was just everyone was looking up and saying, let's do shit. Like we're bored. Let's go do
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm definitely
what,
nostalgic for that.
yeah,
But to your point, the whole interacting with people now, I I have to limit I literally put my blinders on because like I don't want to get involved with there's a difference, I think, between pointless interactions that
mhm,
appear pointless to me that I just because my mind just is so analytical, like I could get thrown off. I'm thinking about something and then all of a sudden I see something and it's like a dog with a bone and I'll start thinking about it and it'll
yeah.
get me off track of what I'm thinking about. So like I think that there's definitely a balance, but yeah, all the interactions that you were kind of it didn't feel like it was forced, but it just felt like that's how it
That's
was,
what
you
you had no
know?
other choice. Yeah, you had
It
no
didn't
choice.
feel like a choice. It just felt like the way that it
The
was.
way it was. That's how it was. There's a comedian who talks about who's Gen X guy, and he talks about how uh, you have to. They're trying to enforce a state of mindfulness with the younger generations.
Hmm.
Like put everything down, turn everything off, and just be. You know,
Hmm.
he said
Hmm.
they didn't have to force that on us because we had no
Oh wait, I know
choice.
who you're talking about. Is he this is like a tall Irish guy with like white hair?
Yeah, and like wears a suit, and he's a handsome dude.
Yes, this guy is
Yeah,
super funny.
he's
He
great,
talked
but
about being on the bus.
yeah, that's what you're
Yes.
doing. You're sitting on the bus, you're watching a condensation drip down the
Yes.
window.
Yes.
That's
I love
mindfulness.
that.
And he's right.
Yes.
He's right. You
It's
just sit there
so funny.
and you look around. He's funny, but behind the punchlines
Hmm.
are serious like psychological and sociological kind of observations that are important. And I think
I
we
mean,
can
those
learn
are the
from it.
funniest and best comedians, in
Yeah.
my opinion,
And make you
that
think and make you think about it after when you're done laughing. You make you think about it. Yeah. Yeah, but the show, but let's talk about real quick because I don't have a lot more time now, but this has been a great conversation. Um, for the woman who was saying, like, he wasn't like the best looking guy. she sure was pointing out all the shit that she was into about this guy. His bone structure or his interests or how he made you
Okay.
feel or
Just
he
like I
was
said, can
he
you
was
let the
lithe and
can,
slamming and he was solid and he had a treehouse. But I mean he wasn't like super hot or I'm like, oh
okay,
really?
you know what? Can the women have their moment here? Like, yes.
Sure. No, like I get it. I get it. But it's almost like she wanted to stop short of really fawning because of the life that he led and the death that he forced on himself, right? Like she didn't want to be like Hebristophiliac-ish, where she finds her like because there's a chance that that could be part of it, right? Like really going after the bad boy or like, the balls on this guy because he was a bank robber and he banged chicks in the treehouse and had all these one night stands. Like, yeah, but
Mm,
whatever. He's not all that. But
mm,
but to hear her just gushing over all of these little separate aspects of his appearance or his personality, I found funny. But he had that effect on people.
mhm,
That was his
mhm.
thing. Great, great.
I feel like I'm not convinced that she didn't have something going. I mean, just for everything that you just
I
described,
think she did too. I think she did too.
because like that's a combination that's difficult to um, keep that distance, especially when you're getting that attention,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well, and to
Uh-huh.
hear her kind of longingly kind of recall exploits of his that she'd overheard or or hearing
Mm,
the other guy talk about it. I mean, listen, it's not like he was for all of his faults and all of his law breaking and all of his illegal shit, right? Not to mention crystal meth running and all the destructive kind of things he did, with regard to society at large. Um, he had a way with the ladies. You know what I
mm.
mean? He
I
wasn't,
do.
he wasn't like forcing anybody. He wasn't lying to anybody. He was
Mhm.
like, come on back to the treehouse. What? Ooh, you have a tree? You have an outdoor shower? Oh my God. Okay. All right, whatever. You know, it's just like I get it. He had his
I
thing.
feel like you're wishing you had yourself a little bit of a
No,
treehouse back in the day.
it reminds me of Ryan Gosling in Crazy Stupid Love, right?
Mhm, mhm,
Super
mhm.
confident, got the looks to back it up, and
Yeah.
beyond that has the personality
Mm, mhm.
to really, augment what he brings physically. And then in the great scene with Emma Stone, when she's like, "All right, fine, just tell me what's your move. You have a move." He goes, "Yeah, I got a move." She goes, "What is it?" He goes, "You can't handle the move." All right,
Mhm,
for Hollywood, it's the outdoor shower, was what I think.
mhm, mhm.
Okay. For Ryan Gosling's character was he goes, all right, the movie Dirty Dancing? I can do the lift at the end. She goes, no, you can't.
Oh,
He goes, I can do the lift. Girls never believe me. I do the lift, and then they always want to have sex with me. And so
uh-huh.
that was his thing. His thing was he can do the lift and make a girl feel like a dancing princess. Hollywood, let's shower outside in a treehouse.
Of course.
How many
Of
opportunities do
course.
you get to do that, right? So yeah, and maybe, just maybe, every now and then he would regale them with, tales of his criminal deeds, and that would make him dangerous.
I don't think so. I think the mystery of the whole thing, of not knowing exactly
Yeah.
what he did,
Yeah,
because
and the
we're
generosity, he had all this money. Where'd you get the money? Who knows? Why the
mm.
fuck are you building an awesome treehouse as an adult, right? Like that's weird. You don't go to work every day. All right.
No, but see, that's the thing. He had this kind of quasi construction company, so there was that thing of like
Mhm.
he's working with his hands and he knows how to.
If he's naked wearing a tool belt at an outdoor shower, women are powerless.
I know
Powerless.
my husband always gives me a hard time because he's like, anyway, um, yeah, I
So I
think
get
that
it. I
there's
get it. This is the fun and games portion of the series, right? Where, you can understand the legend that this guy built. I get it.
yeah.
Totally get it.
But
I
I think that the fact that that people didn't know that the mystery of it and that he could hold his, I think
yeah,
that's for me, like he liked to keep him guessing.
yep.
So we will.
Because there's an attractiveness to that. There's the
Oh,
mystery, and he cut a very enigmatic kind of figure in the world. You know, he did.
mhm.
He did.
Okay.
I can
Well, wait till next week.
yeah, I could totally understand the attraction and the excitement, and yeah, I mean, I was taking notes during that episode, right? I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay, taking notes.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
treehouse.
Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah, I think that you definitely were taking notes.
Yeah, look, I'm past my prime. I get it, but I can nostalgia, right? Nostalgia. Put me
I was
back in my
going
early
back there big time, baby.
put me back in my early 20s. Man, if I had a treehouse in the woods of the Pacific Northwest and he had a cool name for it, Seven Cedars. I mean, come on, that's majestic. That's almost regal.
Stairway to, he was blasting Stairway to Heaven.
Stairway to
And
Heaven. Oh,
as we went on down
you know,
the,
I'm telling you,
I'm
he had a
just
future in
trying.
politics. He had a future in politics if he didn't go the wrong way, you know?
Well, I think that's the thing that's so interesting. It's
Yeah.
like
Yep.
he could have had it all,
Yep.
and he
Blaze of glory. He
decided
decided to go out in a blaze of glory. You know, he's
to
just an
do
adrenaline
this.
junkie. Adrenaline junkie. I get it. Well, all right, listen, looking forward to next week. This was a fun
Okay.
episode. Uh and
Go Gooey Ducks.
yeah, oh, I don't even want to get into all the phallic oyster shit. Okay, that was too much. You were a little too enthusiastic telling those stories, so it's fine. But
Okay, wait a
no,
second.
but I really enjoy. Listen, that woman's not hiding anything. First of all, just I want you to know that she's not hiding anything. Okay, but
I wasn't. How am I to be blamed that they have a gooey duck as their mascot?
just say Google it. That's all you have to say is Google it. You have to describe the anatomy of how deep the clam lives and how hard work it is to extract the gooey duck. I mean, come on, how it squirts water. Really? Really?
Hey, you're remembering every detail.
Well,
So
I
clearly
edited
it
the episode.
landed.
I'm cringing through this, going, okay, Carolyn, please land the plane with the fucking gooey duck. All right, let's move on.
Because it's the perfect analogy.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
Like, look
Okay.
at this. I mean, it describes the college perfectly.
Yes. Great. Fine.
You didn't think that fight song was insane?
Yeah, of course it was insane. Of course it was insane. But I don't want to give it a second more of our time. All right? Not a second more.
Okay, dig deep,
Oh.
and let it all hang out.
Oh gosh.
Next
Okay.
week on Criminal Mischief.
Next week. All right. Well, listen. Again. Great episode. And Nation, if you enjoyed it, please share it, leave a rate, review. Any interaction with the algorithm helps more people discover the show. And we will see you next week for the continuation of this series. I really can't wait to hear where it goes. So,
Okay.
anything you'd like to add, Carolyn?
Nope, we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
How do I turn this off? See, I told you they redid this.